How's it going, everyone? Welcome. Friday. It's Friday. TGIF. It is Friday, and we may have some monster news during the live stream. I've been live when PulseChain launched. I've been live when testnet V3 or V4, one of those launched, and I've been live when Richard's tweeted before. People, the chat, you, the chat right now. You who are listening to this live can tell me. You can help me keep informed. I'm gonna keep an eye on Richard's X account as well. If you've been living under a rock the last 24 hours, I think it's been up. Hexo says it's been over 24, so whatever. Then big announcement, details of something coming, something launching, new in the PulseChain ecosystem, which I have never seen since PulseChain launched. So exciting times. Anyways, we got that going on today. We're gonna talk about that. Also got Fast Abdoul. Keep building. He keeps building. He won't stop building until he gets to the moon. He's on the show today. Welcome back to the show, Fast Abdoul. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Max?
Are you happy or sad today? That's. I want to just get a heat check real quick. Are you just tired?
I'm angry but motivated. That's my regular state. But I would say my anger is lessened and my motivation has increased.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's pretty much the Pulse ecosystem, I would say, right there. That's motivated yet curious.
Yeah, I think we have a wild card on the table right now, right? So it's like, it makes some people nervous. Obviously, some people are very optimistic. There's anything could happen from the information that is available.
Anything is possible. That's right. Yeah, we got a lot to dig into. We got, you're launching stuff. We got Richard tweeting some he's tweeted some pretty bullish stuff the last 2 or 3 months, but he is engaged.
It's getting way more bullish by the day, in my opinion.
He's starting to give some expectations here. He gave one expectation one time, this one.
Yep. Now, it's just an expectation of details. There's no further expectation I can 100% derive from that. Of course, people read into details as exact launch time, which I don't see, but that is a common response that something's launching in 24 hours, which it could be, but I'm only expecting details.
You know what? When I first posted, I was like, oh, it sounds like details within 24 hours, but the way he writes stuff is so vague sometimes. It literally something could be launching in 24 hours. Again, I'm not expecting it to, but it's like he writes vaguely sometimes. So I don't know. Maybe something is launching.
I think he writes vaguely on purpose to not give expectations. And if something did launch, that would be a good way to get out the details. So, I wouldn't say that would violate what he's written here.
Yeah. Pretty amazing. So I have not seen anything like this since PulseChain, since we heard, hey, I'm going to fork Ethereum, we're going to PulseChain. I've not heard Richard talk. It was speculated forever. There's going to be new stuff. I've talked about the PulseChain super app. We talked about privacy protocols, all kinds of different, stuff going on. You have the list. I went over 100 times of all the things that could be launching, that plan, possibly future things devs are working on. That's about, I guess, 3 years old at this point or so. But I've never seen I've heard a new project is launching, even, before other things that have launched ahead of time. He's trying to generate excitement, right? Like, something's happening.
Okay.
I prompted you with that. Something's happening, ... Fast Abdoul's response. There's even a contest he's attached to it. 10,000 to the first, 5,000 to the second, 2,500 to the third person, who literally just guesses it right. Guesses it right in the thread.
And he goes on to say there that nobody has, at the time of writing, I think in his previous tweet, that nobody had even been close. So, I know
that killed my super app idea. I'm like, no. Or did he read them all? Should I assume that he read mine? Maybe.
There's like he has 4,000 replies to this message. How many replies to the last one? Like it's a lot.
That's true. Well, I assume when he reads replies, he reads yours first, and then me, and then SJ, and it's kind of just whoever from there. Maybe Coffee. Yeah, Coffee is he's in there. He's like maybe second after you.
Coffee had some pretty good answers.
He reads anyone over 100,000 followers next. It's a meritocracy here, right? It's a meritocracy.
That would cut me out and you too, I think.
Well, if you combine all of us together,
It's true.
sure. Air forces combined, Captain Planet.
Army is one giant influencer. It's about like thousands of micro influencers.
Yeah, I think. I mean, that's what we've been seeing
on X as the influencer effectively. That's
what we've been seeing pop up too. Again, to the mega marketing, all these things. But also, everyone be careful out there. There's plenty who you could imagine will try to take advantage of the marketing and the hype and here's the ecosystem. Trust me, and some may be totally legit, some may be scams. So watch out there too for new people coming in, because once they smell success, once they see potential, it attracts plenty of people with good intentions and just get rich quick intentions, like if you were to imagine. So careful out there.
Yep.
Yeah, correct answer, by the way, goes to Corey Tacey Square 7231. 2 weeks. That would be the answer to PulseChain, the title, PulseChain face ripping mad gains in ... I was going to put 2 more weeks, but I was going to let somebody. There you go. I don't know if you're guessing it, but you got it right. You got it right. 2 more weeks is in quotes. We don't know, but building to the moon. Then we'll get to that as well. But I've never seen two never before seen things. I've never seen him say, "Oh, there's going to be a new project launching, details, 24 hours, all that stuff," and then a contest too. Paid for, prize provided by, paid for, operated by, and fulfilled by an anonymous donor. So I've never seen Richard do a contest. Do you remember him ever doing a contest, like the paid out money? I don't remember.
Not off the top of my head. I can't remember him doing a contest. So like, this is, to me, some people saw this as negative. I saw it as extremely positive. Like, this is, the kind of thing that gets massive engagement, mostly from inside the community, but that's a pretty important group to get engagement with. So if all eyes are on this, and people are throwing out ideas, wouldn't it be funny if he didn't have the idea yet and this was just his farm to get the idea? The best idea gets $5,000, $10,000, and then he can announce tomorrow details on that thing.
He turns the $10,000 into like $1 billion prize because the idea is actually really good, but he implements it. Yeah, there you go. 369D chess here at hex.com. But yeah, this is guess reward expires in 24 hours at the max or earlier if this account tells you URL and details. We're getting a URL, everyone. So this is either URL to be like, all right, everyone, are you ready for the new sacrifice phase? Let's go. Let's go. I know you're broken poor, but let's go. Let's do it. I don't think it's going to be a sacrifice phase. Or it's a URL to the future new product of an announcement of a new. I bet it's going to be a landing page. It's going to be URL to a landing page that says something is coming. That's what I'm guessing. What do you think?
I think it will be more than that. Like, I think there'll be description of what the thing is.
Well, I guess implicit landing page would be like, there's, how PulseChain's like, fee burning faster fork of Ethereum. It'll be like, some enough details to be like, all right, this is going to fuel speculation. It's going to, give me 2 or 3 shows to do content. I'll be like, stuff like that. I think that this is definitely drumming up engagement. And why would he do it, right? Why would he drum up engagement? For nothing. Like, he already knows everyone's like, oh, we've been waiting. The year increases like every few weeks. It's been 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. We've been waiting to say, it's like, why would it be for nothing? It doesn't make sense.
Plus, this is all coming right on the back of the funds moving from the we'll call it the treasury wallet and into Tornado Cash. Too. Which he posted about. He posted that picture of the lady with the binoculars saying like, wallet watchers be like, right? Like, it's
we've been getting some amazing free marketing. I was talking about that Wednesday from Look on Chain. What was the account? Look on Chain. Let's see.
Look on Chain, yeah.
Yeah, Look on Chain. They posted again today. Did you see it? They posted again about like let's see. I don't know if it was a jab or what. Let's see.
ETH bros are concerned.
Yeah, I believe it. 3 new wallets just withdrew 4920, 4,920 ETH, $16 million for Tornado Cash, sold at around 33. I think, and then they say, is this Richard Hart selling or the hackers? For context, Richard Hart. Then they quote tweeted this one. So it's like, this one, I was like, I don't know. Is this like, are you actually speculating it's him, or are you just taking a jab that, oh, he lost money selling this or something? I'm not sure what the intention was, but dude,
it doesn't look like it looks like it's just stating facts, right? But like, let's say that is true, and that is Richard Hart that sold 4,920 ETH at $3,300. Like 4,900 ETH is a drop in the bucket. It's it's not the entire sack bag, right? So if he was going to turn that into DAI or something else of his choice for whatever reason, for him to DCA out a portion at different levels is probably a smart move. I don't think there's any insult here.
Yeah. Okay. You took it generously than I did at first glance. Yeah, it could be. And again, free marketing got 60K views. I think it was posted yesterday evening. It's hard to be like, oh, this is all just speculation. It's not like literally mega marketing happened over the last few months. Let's catch everyone up real quick. The last few months, mega marketing kicked off, huge campaign to, go send out physical devices to get people onboarded, all that stuff. Got the community putting in amazing work to do that. Shout out to everyone helping and facilitating and doing all that stuff. It's amazing. Very thankless job. So thank you all for participating and getting that done. So that's happening, maybe ongoing, for however long, who knows. And then we've seen just a ton of bullish tweets from Richard, just a ton. Like then he did I call it AMA, quote AMA type thing, where you just like answer questions from people, which hasn't done for years.
It was pretty much the same as a live stream. Like I don't see the legal distinction between that and a live stream. He's answering people in real time for like 12 hours. It was pretty intense.
Yeah. And then
that happens again.
Yeah, I hope so too. I don't know. I feel like that is the maybe that was the olive branch. That was the I'm still here. I'm still building. I'm still glory. Like yeah, I don't know. That was like the hey, let me give you all something. I know it's been a while type of thing. So whatever it was, but like again, this momentum, it keeps happening. All these like cool, interesting things that haven't happened before or haven't happened in years have been happening the last few months. And then we just saw SAC funds and a bunch of other stuff. I didn't even. So, all the stuff in the Looking to RH. Do you know anything about all the stuff in the Looking to RH? All that stuff, Tornado Cash. That was what, 700 million, 600 million, something like that. And then a whole bunch
at
more.
Its height, yeah. Like we're talking 170,000 ETH, which, like, as far as we know, is still in ETH, right? So if ETH goes to $6,000, that's like $1 billion, right? Like it's, it's substantial. But yeah, that's all gone. We can't see where it goes anymore, even though Richard's still drawing attention to it. And sort of trolling, not us. I don't think. I think he's trolling these guys about it's still being around, but you can't see it.
And there was
he
even
still
more,
wants
though.
Eyes on the prize.
Allegedly, even from looking to this guy, another 112,000 ETH was Tornado Cash, and he's saying it from a Richard related wallet. So was there even more? Was it 250K ETH? Like we weren't even tracking the Looking to RH stuff. This was different.
I've heard there's some sister wallets. I'm not a big wallet watcher, to tell you the truth. So like I don't watch really RH wallets or anyone else's. The Look into RH site was sort of like as far as I dabbled. I don't worry so much about what people do with their money that I should have no expectations about. But I would not be surprised if there was another 113,000 ETH that is connected to Richard Hart.
Shockingly
$1 billion. That's a good number.
If it is, yeah, I would like Richard to have all the ETH. I would like him to be the richest ETH holder there ever was. And
he may be a huge Bitcoin holder too, from what I hear. I hear the guy was minting when it was like $20 or something.
Amazing. So yeah, I haven't heard any more information. Only information I've heard is from Looking to Chain. So there are big accounts. Again, this guy's got 600K followers or so. Big accounts who are even giving, like, looking at more information. Again, Richard, whoever's controlling it, has chosen privacy at this point. Like, he's well aware, obviously, that all these people and all the big ETH accounts and stuff were looking at transactions and chasing. There's even a website, again, lookintorh.com, that had all this information there. But I haven't heard much information at all over these other things that came from that are supposedly linked to him as well. So he may even have even more ETH. So it's like $1 billion, $1.5 billion at current value, or or recent value.
We know even before, you know, PulseChain, he was rich, right? So I think, you know, like the guy's probably got bags on top of bags. You know, obviously, like I'm more concerned about bags that I can connect with PulseChain that I should not have expectations for, but I might have hopes for. But yeah, you don't want poor founders. That's not a win.
I think one of the coolest things about Richard is rich before crypto and rich with crypto. Like, you got the best of both worlds. It's amazing. So who knows how much ETH or Bitcoin he has, but boy, it sure seems like a lot. And a lot of people think he has a lot. We'll say that. So that was surprising. I was like, oh, I thought all the ETH that we knew about was gone, and then maybe there's even more ETH. So should be bullish. If you think any of it's going to go into PulseChain, that's even more bullish that there's more available. So we got that
4,900 ETH that got sold is like $16 million or something, right?
Yeah,
like
just
even though it's a small portion. Yeah, there we go. $16.25 million.
Yeah. And again, this is I think it's interesting, and I see here and talk about too. This hopefully isn't, you're not out there being like, oh, I can't wait for Richard to pump my bags. That's not what this ecosystem is about. If it happens, it may happen. We have still no expectations. Is like the rallying call has been for years, but boy, it would be nice. And I think there's a lot of compelling cases around that as well. So this is a great one. Great talk. I want to bring this up too. Hi, Max. 645 validators just go on all fine all at once. Weird upgrade going on. I haven't heard anything about an upgrade. However, let's see. I bookmarked this. So some more information from a couple people. There was, let's see. I think CryptoSolve had some of this, or was okay. So PulseChain stats. Let me pull this up. Yeah, some big validator stuff happening. So yes, PulseChain says 645 validators exit PulseChain today at $619,000 PLS at these prices. Right as Richard announces something's launching soon. Coincidence or someone trying to undermine? I didn't think of undermine. I was just thinking. I think it's people who, again, it's pure speculation. I can imagine if people are just like, I don't care, I'm done. This bull market's over. Maybe they think about the cycle theory. Maybe they think about like they're just giving up on PulseChain or something, or maybe they're rolling it into a new protocol. I don't know. But
I think the most likely answer, in my opinion, like Richard made this public news, details in 24 hours, which some people imply is launch in 24 hours. And this person or persons who control 645 validators may think there's a token involved, and they want to have cash in the form of Pulse on hand for that launch.
Oh,
which I think is a stretch. I don't think that's what's going to happen myself, but it's not impossible. But it could be bullish reasons that they pulled those validators.
Could be bullish
for also, other validators that are now going to make more money too.
They still go burn.
Shout out to the Vouch protocol, which is an easy way everyone could do that.
Vouch, do you like the founder of Vouch? The product went in detail on the show about that. Type in RHMax Vouch if you're interested. Yeah, it's pretty interesting product. This is the bearish case, I guess, from CryptoSolve here. I always love CryptoSolve's posts and interesting perspective. PLS might be in for a bit of sell pressure in the near future. We'd seen rumors that a large number of validators are currently exiting, and just confirmed this is the case. And this, he talks about the wallet, it's 365, 639, whatever the number is. Per on-chain data, 32 million per validator, around 20 billion PLS. Hit their wallet soon, likely over the next 2 to 5 days. I guess it takes some time for validators to exit. In recent days, so here's some context. In recent days, it looks like they've already offloaded around 2 billion Pulse from some exit validators that have already hit their wallet. We probably analyzed the top 40 validators ranked by withdrawal address about a month ago. And whilst we don't intend to make this sheet publicly available, we can show you they were the 27th largest validator at the time with 703, making up around 1.32% of the network share. Wow.
Of the network, not of all Pulse in existence. Like if you look at if it's $600,000 is not that big of a sell on Pulse. Pulse is the most liquid thing on chain. Like, yeah, there'd be a red candle if they like market sold that like an idiot, but it's not. It wouldn't be our worst day ever, I assure you.
Prior to the complete exit, they have a history of selling yield, bridging out 260K of stablecoins the last 12 months of yield, and a few exit validators have exited a large number of validators since the peak. At one point, they had 1404. Will all of this PLS hit the market at once? Unlikely, but does it appear to be sold down a period, a week or two, based on recent history? So sell pressure in November? I don't know. I can't.
How can I do it? I hope they just get it over with, because
Best of luck. Best of luck to
bullish
whoever's selling. Best of luck. Like I'm gonna I like that. I want to see the mad gains on PulseChain. But hopefully you see mad gains wherever else you go if you do leave PulseChain or do whatever you want with your money. But pretty interesting there. So yeah, well, that was the exit. If we go to, let's go to plscharts.com. Let's look at the validators here real quick. By the way, chat, please keep an eye on Richard's X and let me know ASAP if you see any updates, and we'll cover them live. Do it live if it happens to occur while we're live. If not, maybe emergency stream. We may see both of us back on here later today, or one of us, or all that fun stuff. I'm sure everybody will be streaming if on the news. But Vouch, yeah, the 4,640 right there. Got Validator X on here. You got some other ones too, but we've still got. Oh, this one still says 5,200. Let me double check on. We got a Go Pulse where we got the globe too. Go Pulse stats validators. I like the globe. Globe's cool. 52. Okay. So they haven't finished the exit. I bet that's what it is. They haven't finished exiting yet. So it's not going to show the number yet because 5,200, unless we added a bunch more recently, seems.
It takes time to pull validators, right?
Yeah. So the number wouldn't be updated yet, but there will be. We have an exiting one? Is there an exiting list? Let me try on PulseChain stats. See if we have a list of exiting. So one of these have exiting validators, I think.
We still have plenty of validators. I don't think the network's going to shut down.
Yeah. What does this mean to the average person? Like the PLSL pressure is the most, or hodling, or speculating on new sacrifice or coin or whatever, or rolling a new protocol is the most interesting thing as far as network goes.
Worst case scenario with this particular item, it's not that bad. We're talking like, I don't know, 2% dip, 3% dip.
No, I don't see the exit. I thought I saw somewhere that you could see exiting ones, but anyways, yeah, pretty cool. I like this chart too. Boom, pretty cool. All right. What else before we're going to get into Vault very, very soon? Let me see what else I have.
Look at some of those predictions that people had about what sort of protocol could launch.
That's right. Oh, real quick though, let me hit this because I totally forgot to talk about this, just to get everyone a little bit bullish as well. You see this one from Alex? What was it?
I did not.
A week or so. Oh, you didn't see this? Personally, I think this cycle is just starting, like a whole bunch, like as a whole, BTC, ETH, and everything else included. All this upward momentum, I personally believe you can attribute to large players who over the past 2 or 3 years got the green light from Congress buying the bottom. But retail has more or less been dead in the market since mid-2023 or so. If the Fed had done what it probably needed to do and kept rates high because the average consumer is nearly priced out of life, I wouldn't think this. But in my opinion, they played their whole hand, and it wasn't a good hand. Debts and compounding leverage set a narrow range of what they could do, and printers will burr soon. At the expense of non-investing classes, the Genius Act will keep the inputs flowing, absorbing debts, creating new debt buyers, and keeping the show running for another couple rounds at least. Not financial advice, just my thoughts.
By rounds, I think you mean cycles.
Yeah, cycles. Yeah. I know. I was like, this word is important. This word is important. Like after a couple years, couple cycles. Yeah, like
a couple days. I'm pretty sure it means cycles.
Yeah, definitely.
Alex is a smart guy, and that is a very bullish statement. He doesn't speak very often, but when he does speak, I think people should listen.
Exactly. I hope he speaks much more. I hope he speaks back on the show one time. I got to interview him one time back in the early days of RHMax.tv, and it was a fantastic, action-packed nugget interview. Anyone type in RHMax, Alex, Hedron.
I remember that one. It was exciting.
It was good. And one other thing I want to mention before we go on is, speaking of Alex and Hedron and all that stuff, Watzas. Anyone in the chat, type in Watza if you remember, if you know what a Watza are. And don't cheat and look at the title. That's what it stands for. If you actually know what it was, and if you...
I remember Watzas.
Yeah, if you... there's still some for sale. I was told there's some... This is on Ethereum. I don't know if they list PulseChain on the site or not, but
this is an NFT site.
Yeah, this NFT marketplace site. So there's a bunch of different Watzas for sale on here if anyone's interested.
It used to be on OpenSea, but back in the day. I haven't looked for a long time. There could be some deals to be had. I'm going to look on Pulse Market. I know they list them. I don't know if anywhere for sale.
Yeah, just catch everyone up too. So Watza's were when Hedron first launched, you could, or Icosa first launched, you could put in, I think ETH USDC, Hex maybe, I can't, some form of assets to mint a Watza NFT. And it's a game of chicken. So whoever hangs on to their Watzas the longest gets to, like, whoever casts them in. So you could trade them in for Icosa, and you get a certain percentage of the pool, I believe, and you get that percentage. You can mint Icosa from that. I think it's how it works. And so whoever stays in the longest gets higher yield or something like that. So
whoever stays in the longest gets the accumulated, if there was only one guy left in the end, he would get all of it. So it's just like last man standing game. You can burn it at any time, but it's like, it's like a giant stake, basically. There's some available on PulseChain as well, on Pulse Market. I'm dropping you the link. Not a lot of them, but there could be more. People could list them if they wanted to, if they hold them.
Yeah,
because they're just NFTs that can go in it. Basically, any NFT marketplace that supports whatever chain they're on.
Shout out to Crypto936. We're still waiting for the pics. Remember when we were going to get Watza pictures?
Indeed, monkey pictures.
Monkey pictures.
I've DM'd Alex about that 7,000 times. He hasn't read 6,999 of my DMs, but I'm sure he's on it.
Listen, we got one picture, okay? We got this beautiful placeholder.
We got that picture, and it's a nice picture.
Yeah, it is nice. So read up on
most
that.
Of these are not for sale, but some of them are.
Go type in RHMax Watza, and you can see I covered it quite a bit on the show back then as well. So pretty amazing, pretty amazing. All right, let's move on to, again, chat, keep your eye on the RH tweets. Anything else interesting popping up? We don't have a lot of time today, but I definitely want to get to Vault 369. Fast, what have you been building?
Heard of it?
Yeah.
So Vault 369 was the Vault token was launched on Pump.tires and is effectively a meme token. It was launched without any announcement. Nobody knew it was going to happen until it was already live on PulseX. It went straight to PulseX. There was no bonding period, and nobody knew, not even any of my devs, that it was going to happen. So I call that a fair launch. Now there's, as you can see on the website, there's some implied possible utility that could be connected to the Vault 369 token in the form of it being a stablecoin protocol that will mint VUSD, Vault dollars. And the main proposed collateral types initially, which is an important word here, are Pulse, vPulse, and uPulse. So vPulse and uPulse being from Stake Pulse. So we have Validator X with uPulse and vPulse for the Vouch protocol, right? So which is an easy way for people to run validators. I've always liked Vouch. I think uPulse is great too. So I think it's good to provide some additional utility. So main concept being that people would be able to take a loan in the form of VUSD against their Pulse, vPulse, or uPulse holdings. Pay no interest on that loan, only pay a small fee up front. There's other details, like this is basically a custom liquidity fork. So the details as far as what you need to understand before you should do that. Everybody should do their own homework, read all the documents, and verify themselves that they understand what's happening. But as far as additional utility, it would allow people to do things like take a loan against your vPulse and then use that VUSD, the dollar, to buy more vPulse or more Pulse to put into validators. Basically, leverage validator farming being an interesting option, an interesting strategy that could pay off if done correctly. But there's more, Max. So as a custom liquidity fork, I would look at options to have additional types of collateral added in the future. So it's upgradable. So starting with those three things that I talked about, but ending, it could have additional things such as LP tokens, right? Particularly farming tokens like PulseX LP tokens. So a person would be able to do something like deposit a LP token that had Pulse and PulseX in it. That would go into the PulseX Inc. farms, and then they'd be able to earn Inc. while taking a loan against that, as well as have cash on hand and which gives them a possible option to leverage their farming position. Same as I just said for VPulse, they could, put in $10,000, take out 5, use that to buy, $5,000 more of Pulse and PulseX to put it into LP to, effectively farm $15,000 with their initial $10,000. As long as they understood all the risks and rewards, I think, that again could be a great strategy. And it goes on to cover things like potentially even V3 NFTs. So like Uniswap type NFTs that we have on PulseChain in currently. There's a new project coming out that could be additional options, but like 9mm and 9-inch both offer V3 options. So that would be a very specific thing, and it's not certainly wouldn't be a day one thing. It would require some substantial research and development, but I know it's possible because it's been done before. So we're looking at that, and then if let's say Richard Hart does launch a new token with the thing that will be revealed pretty soon now, I'm just going to check his Twitter because I'm going to jump on it. Then the new token could be used as collateral, for example, in a upgradable liquidity fork such as Vault 369.
Okay, so you've got the token launched. I think I watched it. I was watching some part of the stream you were on. Maybe it was with What the Hex, but you're talking about launched on Pump Tires. So you have the token because you can use that token. You can use any token as part of the protocol. So you're I'll do launch on Pump Tires. Right. Yeah. The lending protocol hasn't launched yet, but right. Can you just simply clarify to what that token will be used for? Is it just like earning the fees, earning the stuff, just like the other liquidity forks type deal?
Well, I'm trying to think a little bit bigger with it. So first off, we're the amount of tokens, like percentage wise, that will be in this liquidity fork on PulseChain will be much smaller than in other liquidity forks that put out about 50% of their tokens in the first year. It'll be about 25% of that would be locked in the protocol, and they get delivered out over like 30 years, right? So that will reduce the amount of inflation substantially. The total amount of tokens is minted. It was launched on Pump.Tires, immutable code. There's nothing that can be done to the token, and the token can be inserted into the contract, into the smart contracts, which are again immutable. They can never be removed once they're in there. So that's generally bullish. And then the concept is that people will be able to stake that token, to earn fees. We're looking at some locking options as well. So there'll be like a 0-day, 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month locking option for the token to give people up to 100% more fees than if they go in with the 0-day option, right? So we'll reduce some sell pressure there. And then the big thing that I'm thinking is going to work out pretty well is that it's possible to have the same token. So this token here that was launched on PulseChain be used on other chains in a bridge format. So for example, if Vault 369 were to launch on another chain, like Ethereum or BNB, even Solana, though that would require some code changes, I understand, but it is possible to get a bridge version of the token there.
I mean,
then the same token from PulseChain could be used on the other chains, meaning that the supply would be extremely rare if there were 5 versions of this on 5 chains, all using only one token, all with a large portion of the tokens locked in the protocol. Liquidity would become quite thin, I think.
Are you interested in also being multi-chain and supporting Starknet?
I'm interested in learning more about it, but I cannot confess that I know all there is to know about that.
I saw that CryptoSol posted that the TV, I think something about Sonic going down on TVL or something, and then he was like put on the list and said PulseChain at number, I want to say 29, and then it was like Starknet was like 28. I was like, can we flip Starknet on this list?
I think we could.
I think we can flip Starknet. Starknet, Cardano, let's flip Cardano. Let's flip them all.
The concept of PulseChain tokens on other chains where PulseChain is the original home, like to get those tokens back to their non-bridge format, they would always have to come back to PulseChain. I see that as nothing but a benefit overall for the chain, right? Like, and this concept could be implemented by other teams. Like existing tokens could be bridged out and used for utility on things launched on other chains, and it would surely draw more attention back to PulseChain than it would take to take from PulseChain in the long run, at the very least. I could be wrong. I haven't done a market test with that yet, but I think there's enough PulseChain bros that understand how things work that they would reach out and explain to other communities. Yeah, you can bridge this token back to PulseChain, and we have all kinds of stuff over there. Come check it out.
Don't believe everything you see on X, because it may look like we don't have a lot of smart people sometimes, but we have a lot of smart people. They're just not always saying all the smart things on X all the time. Not more than all the people who are saying not smart things. Got a question from Retrostatic. How will you monitor your collateral ratio across multiple assets, not just PLS price, let's say?
Yeah, well, that's an interesting point. So first off, we'll look at the three assets that I've talked about. So the down the road things with the LP tokens and stuff, like that's a deeper conversation, though totally doable. But we'll look at Pulse, vPulse, and uPulse. So the price of Pulse essentially comes from the DEX, right? And oracles determine the price. So that's been done many times. Now with vPulse and uPulse, we're doing things a little bit differently because they're a less liquid asset, right? Like there's less vPulse on the market and there's less uPulse on the market than there is Pulse, meaning that a whale or even a mid-sized guy could have make a serious dent on the price, or somebody gets hacked or something like that. You could dent the price quite severely, and that could cause liquidations on a protocol like this. So what we're doing to avoid that is we're not looking at the price of vPulse or uPulse. What the protocol will do is pull the price of the redemption value in Pulse of those items. So both vPulse and uPulse, being liquid stake Pulse, are redeemable for Pulse, right? Typically, well, always, they should be redeemable for more Pulse than the number of tokens that you have in that particular token. So if you have like 1,000 vPulse, it's worth more than 1,000 Pulse. It's redeemable for more than 1,000 Pulse. So Vault 369 checks to see, okay, this person has 1,000 vPulse. How much Pulse is that? Oh, that's 1,200 Pulse. Okay, then their collateral is credited for the value of 1,200 Pulse. So the Oracle is still just effectively checking what is the price of Pulse, but they're crediting the individual users with the Pulse value based on the redemption value and not the price of the less liquid asset that is redeemable for Pulse. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah. I think I was Retrostatic. Let us know if you have any follow-ups on that. Interesting. I was going to ask too, well, other than when launch, how different is this than, I know you maybe had some ideals or things you want to do different than the other liquidity forks, but why use this protocol versus the other ones that are out there already?
Good question. So there's a couple things we might get fully into. My goal here was to make a better liquidity fork that would resolve some of the issues that I perceive. All the liquidity forks on PulseChain basically work great. I know there's FUD around this and that, but do what they're supposed to do. They're forks of good quality immutable code. So I don't want to lose the good things, but I want to improve the things that are hold them back a bit. And there's probably two main things that hold them back. The first being you have this token that comes out that is a reward token, and it does stuff. It has utility. People can stake it, but the price tends to go down, right? Or at least in the short term, because people are getting it for free. So first thing we're doing there is making the token so rare that the rewards per token will almost certainly keep the price up. Launching the token beforehand at 1 Pulse each, or whatever the launch price is for pump.tires things, that it will make it, in my opinion, when the protocol launches, the token will be worth much more than before the protocol launches. Yes, there'll be some tokens coming out over a very long period of time, much less tokens, like 25% of the tokens you see from other protocols, actually less than that, considering the multi-chain thing. It might be 1/10 of the tokens you see coming out from the other protocols. But the value of those tokens versus the current market price will be much, much higher, right? Just based on the math to other protocols, it works out to many, many multiples of the current price. And that'll come into the staking utility. The other things that we're doing to affect token price are going to be like built-in buy and burn. So like with any of the liquidity forks, they charge a variable fee based on what's going on, starting at 0.5% typically, right? And that goes up to 5%. You're unlikely to see 5%. That means, crazy things are happening. But usually you see between 0.5% and 1% maybe on a daily basis is your initial minting cost. Now you're paying that in lieu of interest, and you only pay it one time. You never pay it again. Then there's zero interest after that. Half of those fees goes to the stakers, the vault token. The other half of those fees will be built in to buy and burn the vault token. And there's a little bit more into that we can get into another time, perhaps. But basically, the half of them will take vault token off the market permanently and pump the price, right? Which I think is a bullish thing. And that will happen every time somebody mints vault tokens. And then there'll be additional fees associated with the redemption, which is the other issue I'm going to hit on. That will also go quite likely, not definitively, but there's a path that those would also go to buy and burn the vault token. So this would, of course, increase APRs for inside the protocol. People would be making more, which would make them more likely to use the protocol to insert their assets like VPLS, UPLS, and PLS, so that they could get these high APRs on the stablecoin and other assets. That's a benefit right there. But the benefit of using like the liquid staked options to collateralize like a liquidity fork are super obvious. Like instead of Pulse, which is always worth one Pulse, you can put in VPulse or UPulse, which will be worth more than what it is tomorrow in Pulse terms than it is today every single day. So you have essentially an asset that you're taking a loan against that's increasing value versus the base asset of Pulse every single day. It's just a much better way to do it. Like you might start out with $10,000 in there and you borrow 5, and then the price of Pulse goes up, and that's obviously good. You still only have to pay back the $5,000. But if you actually have more Pulse because it's in VPulse or UPulse, and you're able to redeem that for even more, like that, the math just is the math, and it works great. With VPulse in particular, we're going to have a very direct route. Like even people who come in with Pulse will be able to deposit their Pulse as VPulse. It will be automatically minted for them and deposited into their vault as VPulse. So they don't even have to interact directly with the vouch protocol. So the Vault 369 contracts can interact with the vouch protocol to convert their VPulse into Pulse. So it will actually be them doing it. But it's just like we can provide the front end buttons for them to, convert to VPulse and deposit into their vault with VPulse.
Yeah, pretty good. I mean, we got a lot of great liquid staking options out there too. And it's, I think with Vouch, it struck me as really interesting. Do you think we'll see more things around? If you were to think of all the things that are kind of like guaranteed volume or guaranteed, value creation, like using validators as a type of like, oh, create more validators, get more yield. That instead of like, oh,
real yield is hard to actually find on blockchain, right? Like there's lots of like Ponzi yield and like, bait and switch
yield.
Yeah. But like when you start to talk about validators and you start to talk about DEXs, right? Then that's, that's what I consider real yield. Like those are probably the two main sources for real continuous yield on PulseChain are DEXs and validators. So things built on top of those that it can amplify that process, also qualify as, as real yield.
Yeah. So I guess the criteria would be anything that that the blockchain like is almost with certainty, 99%, 100% certainty that as long as the blockchain is running, these things will be running too, such as the validators and the biggest DEX, right? The premier DEX like this. Yeah. That's kind of what you're pointing to.
Yeah. If PulseX and validators are here, then PulseChain is here. But it's like from a user perspective, though, when I say real yield, I mean like something that will be continuous and is not like Ponzi-nomic in its nature, right? And those are two really good examples.
Sure. One more question, and then we'll just got a few minutes left. So we'll move on. Justin French, wouldn't the burn be higher than the reward payout?
I guess it would depend on the day, but like with how slowly like we're planning on dripping out the tokens, and by nature of the protocol is over time the rewards are paid out on a curve and it actually goes down. So like on day one, the reward payout is 50% higher than on day 365, right? Like per block. So I think the reward payout will probably not affect the price as much as the burn. If you, especially, and in the early days when the reward per block is higher, is when the most minting happens, right? When the most people enter the protocol typically. And I have, like we can look at the other forks on the chain to verify this, but that's like, that's when millions of dollars flow into these things, and 0.5% or more of the millions of dollars that flow in, half of that goes to buy and burn the token. So like the early buy and burns will probably be higher than the later buy and burns per day, which is counteracted with later there might be less buy and burns, but the emissions rate is extremely low. And realistically, if you look at, because you have to remember, this was launched on pumped out tires with a set amount of tokens. So if most of the tokens are locked in a contract that can never be taken out, an immutable contract that can't be changed, versus sitting in some guy's wallet, and they're divvied out over 30 years versus that guy could do whatever he wants, like which is the more bullish scenario?
I'll do one more here, retrostatic. If I enter with PLS only, the others use LP tokens, I wouldn't just be monitoring the PLS price then?
Well, we're not, LP tokens are a future thing, but for the moment, right, if you enter with PLS, you could just go in with PLS. That'll be one of the options. You'll be able to convert your PLS via the protocol front end to VPLS if you want to. You're still mostly concerned with the PLS price, and the protocol will display your collateral ratio and stuff like that. If you hit the top right button there, Max, that'll open up some screens. Got some stuff.
Whoa, got some stuff here.
Oh yeah. So everything you need to know as far as like, what price do you have to worry about? Like for the initial 3 assets, you're just looking at the price of Pulse. When we get to LP tokens and stuff like that, that will be more complicated, and we'll have to do some walkthroughs on how that's done. But it will be still fairly straightforward at its base, in like the value of the LP token is the value of the tokens inside the LP token.
Gotcha. All right, everyone, if you have any other questions, let us know. I want to hit on a couple other things before we move on. And I'm sorry if I forgot to look at the RH responses. We'll do that too real quick. But this one from Trey. What's the big surprise? Wrong answers only. I thought that was, this one was funny. A DeFi product that will pump the entire PulseChain ecosystem new highs. Wrong answers only. What else? The definitive edition, $99 to bridge in, cannot bridge out.
Oh dear.
Museum in Copenhagen. Oh, come on, museum. One day. Come on.
Yep. Richard Hart.
This might be the real museum. That might be the real launch. Delete sex can't never be heard from again. Oof. I'm gonna put so the imaginary horribles will be, we never hear from him again. We see $1 billion to buy some island somewhere. Wrong answer only. What else interesting? Anyways, a few of those. And then wanted to get to some people are pretty excited. Hex Wizard.
One interesting concept, Max, is what I'm doing with the Vault 369 token, where an existing token can be inserted into a new DeFi protocol to give it utility it didn't have on the day it launched. That could be done with any of the core tokens. I'm sure Richard knows this.
Yeah, I mean, that is something people are asking for. It's like, Rich said before, what do you need utility? Utilities price go up. But then, utility plus price go up could be interesting.
Yep. So for like, we'll just randomly say, what if Richard launches a fork of, something normal, compound, Aave, whatever. But the staking token is Hex or Ink or PulseX or Pulse. It's totally possible. New protocols don't need to have new tokens. It is what usually happens. But if you didn't want people rushing into the new Richard Hart coin, you just could add new utility to the old Richard Hart coins.
I wouldn't be surprised if it isn't a new token, because yeah, you're just again splitting buying pressure with the other cores. It's like new token takes money away from people. I mean, you got another choice, another coin to buy. It's like with everything. Some are better, some are worse. You know, some things like, okay, I don't care to split it with this one. Some are like, okay, this is, you know, depending on all each other, what you value, all that stuff too. But yeah, I can't imagine there's a 5th core token on PulseChain coming tomorrow. One day maybe, or today or something, or going to be announced. But I don't know. I wouldn't think that. Decentralized side chain, just I'm gonna close privacy rails. We talk about privacy. I don't know. I haven't read these
A
yet.
lot of people have hit on
ones?
privacy. I'm dropping one from Alex here. He talks about privacy. That was his guess.
Okay, we got a guess from the McWhorter, the Alex McWhorter.
We do.
Alex from Hedron.
Buck had a good guess too. I'm going to try to find that.
Some kind of ZK based privacy thing. Yeah, I mean that's what we speculated for a while. But Richard keeps he says it's like not the obvious ones, right? Like one that blindsides everyone if it's a new paradigm. I mean, the marketing, that was a new paradigm. Like that was something new, right? Nobody guessed that. So he could be on a roll with that. It could be something it could be privacy related, but a wild way of doing it, like some amazing things. I love the invention. I love the new stuff. You know, I think there's a place for forks, and we need forks, and that's what we did because it made sense with PulseChain and PulseX. But I'm excited to see, you know, Hex was a new invention, right? So I'm excited to see Richard back to inventing new stuff too.
That would be cool. If there's something revolutionary and new, that wouldn't be boring. And I would expect that if he did that, it would probably be something relatively simple, but like with additional utility. That wouldn't be boring. Buck made a suggestion that maybe Richard's launching a CEX, which I don't think people would expect, even though he has alluded to that in the past.
Yep. Oh, you got, I'll just on Buck's point, I want to say you got AI-driven help desk like that. He did the help desk number thing before, and that was pretty cool. So I know PulseChain Stats has the AI help chatbot, which is pretty cool to talk about this week. And then, yeah, help desk. I have a number 1-800-GET-RICH. That's a big, great number. Let me put in my, CX super app. Where did I talk about that? Because, yeah, this one. So this is one I went through probably a month or two of just like different kinds of like brainstorming. What can the next thing be? What can the next thing be? So apparently I was early brainstorming this. Now everyone's like, what can it be? I mean, you know, not that I was the only one, but like I was really spending a lot of time on this. And this is I said this back in May. Yeah, end of May. 5 new products I could see Richard launching in 2025, 2026. The super app, which I've talked about extensively before. It's not just a wallet. It's like a fork of a wallet, but it's got all these new features. It's not just a wallet. It's got like bridge and exchange and maybe staking and privacy and all this stuff. That's cool. And then the CX with stablecoin, decentralized stablecoin, PulseX overhaul. So like totally like a new version of PulseX, or just like heavy upgrades. Well, yeah, it could look like the same version in the same place to users, but behind the hood, it would be different. Multi-chain bridge, fiat on-ramp, like could be something like that. Those are like the 5. I'm like, okay, these make the most sense of either areas that would just super, you know, pump PulseChain, just really help the ecosystem, and are doable. Like they either exist before. That's the thing is like what he's saying now. It sounds like something that does not exist yet. So I'm like, that's what's kind of throwing me off too. Indeed. When he announces it, we're going to be like, come on, it's kind of close to different. Go ahead, the CX thing.
Like the centralized exchange thing could be different. Like it could be some sort of hybrid model, right? Which I think is what Buck alluded to. So you could have something with like a more direct connection to DeFi, right? To decentralized finance than we see from other CEXs, where, you know, maybe there were more controls placed on the more immutable code. The CEXs use wallets too, right? They just can do whatever they want with those wallets. So like maybe there's a middle of the road where people could still, you know, click the buttons easily without having to understand, which I know is not our ethos, not Richard Hart's ethos, but like it would get people in, but it would be very easy for them to move to DeFi without, you know, any sort of like oversight, right? Without the government stopping them from doing so. So like a clean centralized exchange that like pushed you to DeFi and didn't follow you around would be cool.
Yeah, Yeah, it's like when you sign up, you sign like a contract that's like, I will do these steps to learn DeFi right after this, like, and a contractual an obligation to get into DeFi after you make your first trade on the CX. I don't know, it'd be funny. So this is the poll I did just a few hours ago. What's Richard going to announce today? 24 hours, within 24 hours. Again, I think it's been a little bit over 24 hours, but whatever. Maybe he said, I joked on Hexo's thread, like maybe he misspelled within to be like after 24 hours. Who knows? We'll see. But it seems like a lot of people in the chat helped me vote this one. New tech, 61% think new tech, 7% new coin. It could be new marketing. I thought about that too, like this new amazing marketing thing.
He's calling it a project, though. Like marketing
but that's very generic. Project could be, doesn't have to be tech, right?
It does. It like
a marketing project,
correct, but it seems more likely that it's tech.
It could be both. It could be a marketing platform.
Could be.
You're talking to the genius billionaire founder, marketing genius guy. So
that's true.
Anything could go.
We could use some sort of super marketing app that would, like, we have all these all these Hex and PulseChain KOLs on Twitter that should probably be on 5 different platforms. Maybe there's something to auto convert your your accounts into what do the kids use, TikTok, etc., with a press of a button if you're part of the community.
Now you're talking. That's the tech and the marketing. We like the tech and the marketing.
This something where I don't need to learn new tech to use, right? Like hook up your Twitter account, press this button. Now you're on TikTok, Instagram, all the things. And bang, like if you took the PulseChain army off Twitter onto TikTok, we would rule TikTok.
Gas roots on steroids. Let's go. I like that. That's a great idea. There's a pretty funny responses here. It's probably gonna be something insignificant, like an alignment with some charity, something that will cause one last major dump before he decides. He wants to own the spot of #1 gaslighter in the world. Well put together. Funny idea there. I don't know if you're serious or not, but I think it was pretty interesting.
I wouldn't be shocked if a portion of something went to a charity. I just don't think it would be done in such a way that it would dump the price.
Like opening an orphanage. All right. I can tell you this, if it turns out to be a dud, the cores will suffer additional sell pressure like never before. At this point, it would have to benefit the whole chain as a whole by making it easier to on-ramp, bring in new money. Yeah, it could
a lot of unnecessary FUD there, but yeah, it's on-ramps.
They got to a point. That was a good point at the end. Yeah. New random pegs vaults on PulseX stake. PDI instantly pegs lockup time to 5 red fides. All right, there's a lot of interesting tokenomic things in there. Ladders and huge take a little of ecosystem. We'll see. And then Compound Protocol. I hope to God it's not a coin. I don't think it's a coin. I don't think it's a coin. Protocol, RHMax. All right, that's about it. So yeah, no matter what coin or what core, I think it'll be something either something to do with the cores or protocol. Or I think I like your auto conversion to, hey, you're a PulseChain influencer now because we got this platform that'll just take your stuff and just make you known now and get your stuff, get people to, oh my gosh, that would totally, if it would totally point back to that, like, you got everything you need. You just need people to know about PulseChain, like a platform for getting people to listen about PulseChain and get the word out. So that could be pretty cool. All right, coming up on time though. I want to get one more in right here. This is a comment I got during the stream, I think, or close to it. So I think it's interesting. I want to get your take on Caracast. If winning the lawsuit against the SEC didn't make the price rise, what makes everyone think it will because of a so-called announcement? What do you got on that?
Well, I think, we don't have enough details to know that's true, but like we have a combination of factors, right? And we can see Richard pointing at the factors in a row, like, look, I moved all this money. He literally makes a post of like, look, I moved all this money. And then he's like, look, something new is launching. And then he's like, hey, let's have a contest to find out what's launching. So like if you look at these things together instead of separately, be like, yeah, there's $700 million in the wind. Richard Hart says he's launching something new. I don't have enough information to be 100% bullish, but the information I do have is 90% bullish.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. Looking at everything in context and not just like, I think it is easy to be like, okay, this thing happened. Oh, this bad thing happened. Oh, you know, just like we've been waiting so long, 3 years, 4 years, 5, all that stuff. I think looking at everything is what I said in the beginning of the stream. It's like everything that's happened the last few months seems to be very methodical, seems to be very, again, just like I've talked about before. I think when we get into PulseChain season, when we get into the bullish cycle, when we get into the pieces where we're going up, it will happen. The upgrades, the news, like all this stuff I talked about, the upgrades for Pulse, like it'll be a little bit at a time. It'll be building momentum. It won't just all happen at once. It'll start happening a little bit at a time. So it just compounds and just everything just makes sense and it's great. So I think I think there's plenty of reasons that at post SEC, we can get some more wins and we fulfill the promise of the ecosystem, which is glory. That's what I'm here for.
Indeed. Yeah. No, I think, really, like I've never been more bullish on PulseChain right now. I can't say the same for crypto in general, right? But for PulseChain specifically, I feel like our season, as Richard's called it in the past, is just getting started.
Sorry, I'm on mute. You like this one? You like this meme?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Ab gains. I've been putting AI into overtime. This guy. We finally getting the Hex Diamond NFT. We finally getting the Hex Diamond in NFT. All right. What were you saying? Get a 2x, get a 10,000x. Right. And then one more. Where is it? Did I post it? Where is it? Oh no, did not post it.
These are pretty funny. You're starting to compete with Exologist. He's got some funny ones too.
Oh, yeah. He's got some good ones. I like it. He's got some good ones.
You've been trying out the Grok Imagine. It makes little videos for you.
No, I haven't actually. There's so many different pieces. There's so many different tools. I saw that. I saw Sora is getting pretty good at it too. Shoot, I thought I had another one. All right. Anyways, who knows? Let's manifest it fast. You've entered the chapter where it all goes right. Let's manifest it. Let's go.
Dude.
Let's go. I hope so. All right, everyone. Fast Abdoul, where can people find out more about you and Vault 369? I put the Telegram in the chat that you gave me. It's there. So.
Yep, that's Telegram. Yeah. That's probably the best place to start. I'm posting a lot of things on X as well. You can follow me at FastAbdoul, as seen on the screen here. We're running a contest right now. We have $6,000-ish in prizes. Main component of entering the contest is joining the Telegram room. That's where the draw is going to take place. So, I think the bar is pretty low there considering what's on the table, which mostly is you learning and a chance to win your piece of $6,000 in prizes. No, I can't beat Richard. He's putting up like 20 grand in prizes, but I think the pool of participants will probably be smaller.
Nice. All right, everyone. You may, if Richard does announce it, I'll probably do an emergency stream. So look on the channel, see it. I'm sure lots of people will be streaming, all the buzz, all that fun stuff. So let's hope for an amazing announcement and some fun stuff. And let's get into it. PulseChain season. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. Scivive 5555. See you guys later.